A warm welcome to Anthony Davidson, who's beside me in the commentary box today. Can I get your take on Ferrari? They haven't had a single retirement in the last 10 races. What do you make of the car's reliability?
It's a good statistic for sure, as it demonstrates not only mechanical reliability, but consistency from both drivers as well. These are two of the first boxes you have to tick for any successful season.
So hey, what's up guys, Riotbox here and welcome back to another F1 2019 career mode video, and in this one we're heading into a double header episode. So I've left out qualifying. There were pretty average performances in these qualifying sessions, so I left it out and thought I'd do a double header episode instead. So we're here for the German Grand Prix, getting an okay launch off of the line. You can see George Russell just comes flying past us. We drop temporarily back to last place and then we squeeze our way up through the middle of everyone, so but back up into P16. Then Lewis Hamilton's just up the road, so he must have had a grid penalty. Actually no, he went out on the medium tyres in Q1 and didn't make it through, so he shot himself in the foot a little bit there. But anyway, look at him trying to find a way past. We're up his inside and he's going to get boxed in. We come flying up the inside of about 4 cars, trying to stick it up the inside of Kimi Raikkonen and cuts us off. And Magnussen tries it round the outside. Come on, give us a bit of hot lap overtake mode to get up the inside of Magnussen and maintain 12th place. So on lap 1 already up into P12. So a miracle start here. Very, very lucky. Everyone getting caught up on each other, tripping over each other's toes a little bit at the start of this Grand Prix. So that is good for us, bad for the others, but all we care about is trying to get this McLaren in a good place. And Magnussen, whoa boy, gives us a hit up from the rear, pushes us a little bit into that chicane. Obviously wasn't happy with how quick we were going through the stadium section. As I say, that up the inside of Kimi Raikkonen temporarily. He holds it around the outside. We're a bit cheeky there. I didn't intend to make the move. The door was open and I ended up going in up his inside, but we weren't able to hold it. Caught me off guard a little bit, probably why we weren't able to hold it. But anyway, lap number 3, we're about to start coming around the final corner of lap number 2, and it's going to be time for the DRS now. So now the overtakes can really start to happen. We're going to have another tool at our disposal. Obviously it activates on lap 3, and look at us already over the back of Kimi Raikkonen up the inside, lock up from the front right, but we hold on and take P11 then. So we're on to the points paying positions there next up. So we've got the DRS from being behind Kimi Raikkonen. It's going to give us a little tow up to the back of Weber and Butler, battling it out into the hairpin. Butler, our rival, can we find a way past him? Maybe he's going to get boxed in behind Weber and it's going to give us a chance. We are the 3 F2 drivers that made it up last year, and we're through on Butler. He had absolutely nothing to defend with. That Mercedes power unit is pretty good in the back of that racing point car, but he that really surprised me how easy we were able to get past. Maybe he had all his ERS and harvester mode. I couldn't get my words out then, but anyway, trying to get past Daniel Ricciardo. He seems to have a little problem here. He's going so slowly unless he's harvesting, because Weber made it past real easy, and now we're going to head up the inside of the hairpin, whack up the ERS to overtake mode and hot lap mode to try and get past him again like we did on Magnussen earlier on in the race, and we out drag him and take P9. So at the minute we're following Weber through in that Toro Rosso. He's charging through the field, already onto the back of the next Renault, which is Hulkenberg. And who's that on the left hand side of the track? Oh my god, it's Verstappen. So fastest man out on track. As you can see, his name was Purple. He just had an engine failure or something wrong with his car, forced him to retire, and now we've got people starting to come into the pits. So Weber stays out, so we're going to be following his strategy. He's real quick right now, and we're basically following his kind of race, trying to make it through up the grid. But that promotes us temporarily to P4, but obviously when we pit we're going to get chucked down on the grid. I think there's still a few people up the road still to pit, but we follow Weber in anyway, so we're on the same strategy as Weber in that Toro Rosso. Honda powered of course, and the Honda engine much better this year than it was last year, and we get held up in the pits there. Sergio Perez, man, I mean look at that. Weber's already out of the pits, he's long gone, so we've lost probably 2 or 3 seconds in that pit stop stages, so that is rather annoying. But anyway, we come out in P12. Hulkenberg's up the road, so we're going to have to get past him. And first of all, we've got to catch up with him. So Hulkenberg's got past Weber, so maybe Weber's made a mistake or maybe he's just going slowly right now. A few cars in the pits, so hopefully we'll get back into the points as we come around turn number 1. P8 it is, yep, and Weber is 3 seconds up the road, and we're going to have to try and close him down. I think he's in a bit of a battle. Ooh, he's dropped off the back of the Renault here. You see lap number 12, we're finding a way up the inside. Oh, that's a mistake. He's gone for the hard tyres. That's why his pace has dropped off. Why would he go for the hard tyres right now? I mean, we went for mediums and we're going to last easy to the end of the race, but Weber has completely ruined his race, so we will carry on the charge on his behalf and we will carry on fighting up through the field. So you can see that is why. I mean, the hard tyres, you're just not going to touch them in a 25% race. And speaking of 25% race, you guys keep wanting me to switch it up to 50% races, so maybe for season 2 I will do that, but I want to crack on through season 1, and then we'll slow the pace down a bit for season 2. I mean, we're probably already one of the slower career modes out there compared to the bigger YouTubers, but anyway, that's beside the point. MotoGP is our main focus, but I do love this F1 career mode. I'm absolutely addicted to it. I can't stop racing. I'm going to probably switch it up to live commentary as well in a few episodes time. But anyway, back to the race. Lap 15, we have been on a charge, and we have been catching up each lap to Grosjean and Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg's now carrying on the charge for Weber. So we're up into P6. Lovely move on Grosjean. That Haas is a real quick car, as you see. Over the last few races, that it's been really going quite well for them, their development, and they're probably best of the rest right now. We're trying to fight them for that position. I think in terms of the R&D, it is Renault, McLaren and Haas pretty close, as you can see now. We're at number 16 on the DRS straight. Come on, gaining on Hulkenberg. We're going to hopefully get the job done on the brakes into the hairpin, as yes, brake at the 100 metre board. He's not going to be on the outside, little lock up, but doesn't really phase us, and we're through. And no, perfect timing. Grosjean is getting in a bit of a battle with Hulkenberg, and Grosjean has actually overtaken Hulkenberg behind. As you can see, coming around the final corner on the final lap. As long as we hold it together, we'll manage to get P5 out here at the German Grand Prix for McLaren. A good, solid result for us. So I hope you've enjoyed the first race of this double header. We'll be getting into the next one just after we take a look at the current standings, but I hope you enjoy this, and I'll probably switch it up a little bit every so often and do some double headers, or show qualifying, not show it, that sort of thing. So it was really average qualifying, so I thought I'd mix it up for this episode. But as you can see, we are P7 in the championship, just behind Gasly, and we're going to be trying to catch up to him if we can. But McLaren P4 in the constructors, we're doing a good job with McLaren. I don't know whether I'm going to leave them next season, but anyway, we're going to get into the R&D tree. Just give you a bit of an update. I'm conscious I haven't shown it in the last few episodes. As you can see, we're struggling with 2 parts failed, so waste more resource points. I need to do some of the efficiency upgrades, but anyway, let's head out to Hungary for the Hungarian Grand Prix.
It's always wonderful to come back to the lively Hungaro Ring. A popular destination this, nice and close to the beautiful city of Budapest, with some exciting racing to boot. Who can forget Michael Schumacher pushing his old teammate Rubens Barrichello up towards the pit wall in 2010, or those great races of 2014 and 2015 as well. Joining me for the Grand Prix once again is Anthony Davidson. Let's talk about the Professor. No grid penalties, no mitigating circumstances, just a poor qualifying performance and a very disappointing start position for them today.
It's not a nice feeling, I promise you. They've got a quick car underneath them, but they've got onto the grid today and they need a pair of binoculars to see the start lights. They'll be desperate for a good start to make up for some of that deficit.
Okay, so like I said, really average qualifying. I mean, down in P17, lower reaches of the grid again. Seems like we struggle with our qualifying pace, and then come the race, we have brilliant race pace. So maybe it's just my racecraft is a lot better. But here we're here anyway for a wet race. It's intermediate conditions, so it's not quite monsoon conditions. So we're taking it easy into turn 1. We can't see a thing. I'm trying it around the outside. I don't want to get stuck at the inside and kill myself for the race. There's 18 laps ahead of us here at Hungary, so quite a long Grand Prix. I don't want to ruin it at turn 1 in these wet conditions. So it's more the visibility. It's slippy. It's not as slippy as it could be if it was full wet. But I mean, we're making good progress already up the inside of Butler, who we recently selected as our new rival instead of Ricciardo. And we get a little bonus because he is our former rival on F2. So that's partly why I went for it. But anyway, P14, and up the inside of Magnussen, a little clip of his rear tyre, and that sends us over the inside apex a little bit, but we get away with it, and we're already right onto the back of him again. I'm feeling confident, you know, in this McLaren. not too bad. I went for extra downforce, so in the qualifying laps I was struggling down the straights, but it was obviously it was a dry track. But now a high downforce setup is actually working pretty well in the wet, of course. So I didn't even realise it was going to rain in the race. I always forget to check the weather for the race. So if it's dry in qualifying, I just whack on a dry setup and hope the race is dry as well. But in this case, it wasn't. But luckily, I went for a high downforce setup, being the type of track it is. So anyway, P13 we've made our way up into. Maybe even P12 up the inside of the final corner. Very aggressive on Ricciardo. I didn't even mean to be that aggressive. I was committed. And already at the end of lap number 1, we're challenging for P11 with Albon. It's another Toro Rosso. Previous race it was Weber and Toro Rosso. Now it's Albon we're trying to battle with around the outside into turn number 1, late on the brakes. Not much you can do on the inside. We're going to get better traction out wide. And there we go, P11. And already onto the back of Kubica, coming into this little chicane on lap number 2. We run it a little bit deep, but return to the track, and we get away with it, I think. Stewards didn't say anything, so we'll carry on regardless. So we're in P10. That's 1 point for us so far. Lap number 3 already onto the back of Perez. And then we've got our teammate just up the road a little bit into there. Again, very aggressive. I don't know what we've gotten into me in this race. Very aggressive at the inside of Perez, and already ended lap number 3 on the back of Norris. We are flying up through the grid. I had some really good pace, a little snap of oversteer, but nothing we couldn't control. Went a little bit drifting there, but anyway, up the inside. Can we brake later than him? About 100 meters. Oh, neck and neck on the brakes, but we're up the inside. He's going to be stuck on the outside. Not going to do him any good out there, and already into P8 now. Only lap number 4. And then we're going to be chasing down Nico Hülkenberg, so we're already on the back of him. I'm not scheduled to pit, by the way. I'm going all the way on these intermediate tyres, although halfway through the race I was a bit concerned, do I switch? But anyway, coming around the outside of Hülkenberg, he is going so slow. We have so much pace, and I don't know where it's come from. As you saw from qualifying, in the dry, we had absolutely no pace around here, but come the wet, race conditions, wet weather conditions as well, and a good bit of racecraft, and we are flying out here, so I have no idea what's going on. And maybe the AI is just a lot stronger in qualifying compared to the race. I'm not too sure. Let me know what you guys think. But we're on purple laps right now. Purple sector 1 and 2 coming across the line. 1:35.256. So we're on lap number 6. That is pretty impressive. Fastest lap of the race, and we've got all the big guns up ahead. We've got the 2 Red Bulls, the 2 Ferraris, and then it's the 2 Mercedes leading. So the Mercedes obviously works a little bit better in the wet compared to the Red Bull and the Ferrari. I mean, I would have expected the Red Bull to be probably leading this race in wet conditions, but to be honest, I think they're both stuck in a bit of a battle with the Ferraris. But anyway, starting lap number 7 into turn number 1. Can we find a way up the inside of Verstappen? He leaves the door open. We're late on the brakes. Again, he's going to hold it around the outside. He's going to get better traction, but then we whack it into hot lap mode and somehow find some traction, put the power down, and we're through on Verstappen. So at the minute, we're going to get the extra point for fastest lap of the race as well, which is really going to help us out in our championship. But still, we're all over the back of Verstappen's teammate now, Gasly. Can we find a way past the other Red Bull? He's been stuck behind Leclerc a little bit. I think Leclerc is struggling in these conditions. Obviously a rookie at Ferrari this season, high expectations. He is actually leading the championship if I remember correctly. But here in these wet conditions he's struggling a little bit. We're trying to find a way up the inside of Gasly. Oh, side by side. Oh, ho, ho, ho. That's very aggressive defending. Check the front wings. Okay, it is. And now lap number 8. We are going to find a way up the inside into turn number 1. If we can brake late enough, he leaves the door open again. A little lock up, a little skid. That was a little bit scary. I had to hold my breath, but we hold it together. No damage. And now look at the run we got on Leclerc. He is struggling right now. I'm going to come up the inside. Very aggressive on him because he is struggling. We're in a little bit too deep. He's going to try and come back at us. If that was dry conditions, he'd have come back at us, but because he's struggling in the wet, he wasn't able to put the power down, and we just held it out wide. So that's really good racing there. Really pleased with how this car is performing in the wet. I'll take some more wet races, and already lap number 11 we're catching up to Sebastian Vettel. We've been going purple over the last lap or so. As you can see, we've lost a little bit in the middle sector. That's because we got stuck behind Vettel. So we could have had another fastest lap of the race. but it's not meant to be. So lap number 11, we're battling for the podium with Sebastian Vettel up the inside. Come on these intermediate tyres, power down, squeeze him out, know where he can go. I would take that, come around the final corner to end lap number 11, and we are in podium positions right now. Come on, we've already had a couple of podiums this season. We haven't had a win. We've had a second and a third place, I think. So good results for us. Look at the tyres on lap number 13. At this point I was like, shit, should I have pitted? And no one else has, so I think I made the right call. I didn't want to go back, because I mean, if we pitted we'd come out in 9th, and we're challenging Bottas up the inside again right now. Look at that throw on the Mercedes driver. Now lap number 15, look at the tyres. I was really starting to feel the tyre wear, and our pace did drop off a little bit. So you can see 4.3 seconds up the road to Hamilton, but on the final lap of the race, I don't know what came into me, but we're going to set another purple sector, well, another purple lap with those poor rear tyres. Did you see them? Almost 70% wear. But we made it for second place. Unfortunately, couldn't get Hamilton, but, you know, P2, I'll take that. This episode has been a miracle for us at McLaren. So we're taking a look at the championship then. Lando Norris did get 1 point, so that'll help him out. But let's take a look at the championship. I think I'm still going to be behind Gasly. Yeah, look at that, still behind Gasly, but we're closing in, only 8 points off. So that's pretty good. So if you did enjoy this episode, smash the like button, share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe for more F1 and MotoGP content.